freehelpforcancer.com. I wanted to tell you about black box warnings for prescription drugs and how I think they are completely ineffective. So I thought that a black box warning, and I had read about it on the internet, stated that the FDA calls it a black box warning because you have a black box around the actual warning for the consumer. Okay? And what I'm finding is that that is not true. Now, some groups sue the FDA and force them to put in a black box warning, which is something that happened with one of the medications that I was prescribed after a 6-day hospital stay for a kidney infection. Okay, so let me tell you about the drug. I was given levofloxacin, 750 milligrams, and it made me feel pretty bad. I couldn't eat. I was nauseous, lightheaded, and because of not eating, my strength was doing this. And that's after not eating for days because I was on a medically induced fast in the hospital, so it was a bit too much. But anyway, I started feeling so bad on the second day that I looked up this drug and I typed in the name of the drug, levofloxacin, and then I typed in black box warning. And the black box warning for this drug is burst tendons. It can happen in your Achilles tendon, but it can happen in other parts of the body. And it warned that if you, even after you're off the drug, the burst tendons can happen months later. Private Citizen was the nonprofit group that sued the FDA and forced them to put a black box warning on this drug. Now, this drug came with 4 pages of warnings about this drug. And it does warn you about the tendons and all that stuff and a lot of other stuff, but there's no black box. I don't know, maybe I was wrong, but I thought that a black box would signify the danger of that side effect and the thousands of people that it affected. So that's that drug. The next antibiotic I was given, and I have a hard time pronouncing it, so please forgive me, metronidazole. Metronidazole, 500 milligrams twice a day. And I looked up that black box warning. It caused cancer in lab rats. Lovely. This also made me terribly sick, and I couldn't stay on them. So I went to a nutritionist and I did other things, and now I'm coming back and I'm feeling much better. So here's my prescription bottles. Do you see any black box anywhere? No, of course not. Here's the next one. No black box. My recommendation to you is if you get prescribed a drug, you type in the name of the drug and then you type in black box warning and you do a search. You're going to have to be your own advocate or have your spouse or partner or parent or whoever do this search for you, because we have to be well informed on these drugs, and frankly, I'm really angry. We have a major situation in the United States with antibiotics because we are feeding our livestock the same antibiotics that are given to humans. We are the only country in the world that does this. And here's what happens. The livestock is fed terrible food, kept in filth, and the proliferation of bad bugs and bacteria, because they're in filth, is very high. They're given high doses of antibiotics to keep them from getting sick, and the bugs are becoming immune to these antibiotics, and then so that when you go to the hospital and you're sick and they need to kill the bug that you have, their users having to use stronger and stronger medications, and we are reaching a cap on what we're able to do with antibiotics because of this situation. And frankly, I think the pharmaceutical companies take no responsibility. All they care about is the money. And for some reason, the government is in collusion with these pharmaceutical companies. And something has to be done. I'm sorry, I think something has to be done. Why can't drugs be invented that don't cause so much damage? I don't know. You know, it's one thing to be sick with cancer and have to take heavy drugs because it's a life or death situation and you have to kill the cancer. I understand that. But I don't understand our livestock being fed the same antibiotics that are supposed to be given to humans. That is a disaster waiting to happen and should have never been done and should be stopped immediately. So the only answer to this, really, is to get as healthy as you can. That's the honest truth. I let this situation go with myself. I had little signs, and because I was stressed out for other things, I let it go, and it was a huge mistake. It was the first time I ended up in a hospital in like 25 years, maybe 30 years. So, get smart, be healthy, be aware and vigilant. Do your own research. It could mean life or death for you. Thank you very much.